Additional Solicitor General Indira Jaising has released the copy of the affidavit of the law intern who has accused sexual harassment against former Supreme Court Judge K Ganguly. The affidavit says that Ganguly asked the victim to stay at the hotel and work all night. Additional Solicitor General Indira Jaising has also written to the Prime Minister seeking removal of Ganguly. Meanwhile, Ganguly questioned how could a confidential statement be made public.
In the Justice Ganguly harassment case, the intern has said Ganguly propositioned her and asked her to stay in the same room as him. In her statement that appeared in the Indian Express this morning, she has said, and I quote, "The judge informed me that it may not be possible to have a separate room arranged for me and asked me if I would stay in the same room with him. During the dinner, the judge put his hand on my back and thanked me for agreeing to help him. I moved away, clearly indicating to the judge that this physical contact was unwelcome and not proper behavior on his part. However, the judge did not remove his hand from my back and then moved forward to embrace me. At this point, the judge approached me and standing next to me, he put his hand on my head and said, 'You are very beautiful.' I immediately rose from my seat, but before I had a chance to respond to the statement, he caught hold of my arm saying, 'You know that I'm attracted to you, don't you?' You must be thinking what this old man is getting drunk and saying such things, but I really like you, I love you. When I tried to move away, he kissed my arm and repeated that he loved me," unquote.
Justice Ganguly has strongly denied these allegations and he says he will not step down. Justice Ganguly has said that the affidavit was confidential. It was meant just for the Supreme Court committee. He questioned how this affidavit came out in the open. Justice K Ganguly has questioned the timing of the leak of this affidavit and he said that the affidavit was confidential. It was meant for the Supreme Court committee. How can it come out in the open? What can I do? Who's listening to me? So the former Supreme Court judge is playing the victim card here. He and those close to him call it a bigger conspiracy against him by vested interests.
In her deposition before the committee of judges, she has not only given this affidavit, given oral evidence, stood by it. She has provided details of her call records, his call records, because he kept calling her persistently, SMSs in which she says in her affidavit the next morning he apologized, and all this is available on SMS. It's also very important for you to note that the committee has asked the service providers to freeze those call records and the SMSs. I have been given to understand that he has been telling people that he hasn't been given an opportunity to put his side on record. Well, I need to read out from you from the report, which says that he did give his deposition. He was called before the committee. He deposed on the 27th of November 2013 at 4:30 p.m. and his detailed statement has been video recorded. There were two incumbent chief justices on this committee and one woman judge. And when they give a finding that prima facie they are satisfied that an incident of sexual harassment has taken place, verbal and non-verbal, I honestly expected Justice Ganguly to step down, resign voluntarily.
Absolutely, I have no doubt. I think that in the light of the latest revelations by the Additional Solicitor General, which was published in a national daily, I think it's time for Justice Ganguly to voluntarily submit his resignation. This is an exceptionally serious matter, because I don't think that both he and the institution should have to suffer the ignominy of a removal procedure.
आपको यही कहा कि कोई भी व्यक्ति इससे बचा हुआ नहीं है। जब मैंने आपसे कहा है तो सब लोगों के लिए जो कोई भी हो उनके लिए कानून एक है, और मैंने कहा कि कोई भी हो और जो कानून अपना काम करेगा करना चाहिए।
जुडिशरी तो स्ट्रॉन्ग की बात हुई, लेकिन जस्टिस गांगुली पर अभी तक कोई कार्रवाई नहीं हो रही है। बस
अब उस पर बस टिप्पणी नहीं कर।
मैम, लगता नहीं रसूख वाले लोग बच जाते हैं अक्सर?
नहीं, नेचुरली बचते हैं, तो हमें इस तरह से लॉज बनाने चाहिए जो एक्सपेडिशियस भी हो और जो जल्दी से हो जाए, वो बहुत जरूरी है। क्योंकि क्या होता है, जब बरसों लग जाते हैं तो एक जो घाव होता है वो ठंडा पड़ जाता है।
Yeah, I think it's shameful that a man who has held this position has such serious allegations against him, and he could not be unaware of the affidavit of the girl, because he must have been confronted with that affidavit. He has met with the committee, or at least I don't know how it was, whether he met or whether it was on. So I mean, it is just utterly shameful, and that he should stick on to that position. And so therefore, if he is sticking on to the position, people, and I also think that if the facts are so brazen, then the Supreme Court committee also, the Chief Justice, should have directed logic.